Where's the lo-fi beats?
Lo-fi beats. All right, everybody, welcome into Motivational Monday Episode 4. I am here with my man Ghost. If you want to go ahead and tell us about yourself, that'd be cool.
Hello everybody. My name is Ghost. I'm just gonna give you my full real name. Um, I am a FPS streamer who is now turning himself into a variety streamer. Alongside being into FPS. I've been streaming for 4 months, going on November 27th. Um, and yeah, I'm from Virginia. Uh, yeah, I love meeting new people, honestly.
Cool, cool, cool. All right, so the only question I basically ask everybody, and then I kind of go with the flow with your story or what you have to talk about is how would you define motivation, or what is motivation to you?
Hmm. Okay, good question. Um tell you- I think uh motivation to me is anything that inspires you to get going on something that you want for yourself. So I think motivation comes from a lot of different places. It can come from a lot of different places. It can come from people you're inspired by, people you just know, music, lifestyles, um, etc. But I do think motivation is one of those things that that you just happen to get from just multiple outlets.
Yeah, I agree. That we talked about that in the first one. It's like you can use different motivation for like streaming or fitness or love. Like everything has its own motivation and has its own purpose for
Yeah,
motivation and things like that. So that's why I kind of started this is to try to get different viewpoints of how everybody looks at motivation or what they use as motivation.
okay.
So
Yeah, I get that.
yeah,
Can y'all hear him properly now? Everybody can hear him? Okay, my bad.
so no, you're good. So and that's the thing. Like, I didn't want to just do this to play motivational movies or just read quotes off the internet. I'd rather bring people on and hear their struggles or like what they struggled with to keep them going. And I feel like that'll be more of a
Yeah,
connection to people that are watching or listening when I put it on like YouTube or stuff like that, to where they could watch it and be like, oh yeah, I can relate to that. I can relate to what he's going through or what she's going through, etc. So
yeah,
I feel like this is a real good way to do that. It just bring people on that I've met through streaming and other things that are just kind of going through stuff, or have
yeah.
gone
No,
through
I
stuff.
agree.
Um, so what was your what started to get you to streaming? Like, what was your point to where you're like, I might as well just start streaming?
Um, streaming was an accident. Um, I was working within the NBA at the time, and one of my friends who made it to the NBA, who like we both played video games a lot. We played a lot of Fortnite at the time. And I was slowly getting into Apex around the time, but a lot of Fortnite. We started playing a lot of it. And he was starting this transition out of the NBA, and we were trying to find something to help him, because like once the NBA is over, that large amount of money goes away.
Yeah,
You want to start working on something to give yourself like a career after a career.
yeah,
And we kind of just came across it one day because we were two things separately happened. One, I was living in this apartment complex, and this young kid was standing by me. The apartment complex is very expensive, but this kid was living there, and like I didn't do too much for work, and he really didn't do anything for work. And I just asked him one day what he did, and he told me he created content, and I wasn't fully like familiar with what that was. I
yeah.
had no idea what he meant. I'm gonna be honest. I thought because we was in LA, he was talking something sexual. I'm like, oh, whoa, okay, all right, bet cool. But
You do
no, he
you,
was like,
man. You do you.
yeah, but he was like, no, bro, I make content on YouTube. I was like, wait, what? What do you mean? You post videos and and he took me in his crib. He showed me his laptop and he showed me his page and he showed me like the things that were getting monetized and what monetized mean and etc. And that was kind of my first intro to it. And then we ended up going to Brooklyn for a game and we're there and they put this blue haired guy on the screen and we were just like, who is this guy? And
Yeah,
under it was like, esports content creator ninja. And he was sitting like maybe like 4 or 5 seats from me at the time.
that's crazy.
So I was just like, who is this? And then I think the next, like 3 days later, they put him in ESPN. for I forgot exactly what it was for.
Yeah.
It may have been like I'm gonna say it may have been top earning like sports people, and he
Yeah.
was in there. And I was like, wait a minute, not only are people creating content and making somewhat of a living, some people are making millions of dollars from this. This is insane.
Yeah.
So we started putting the plan together to, do this for for my friend. And me and that friend had somewhat of a falling out, but I was still helping him with it, and then he just decided he didn't want to do it anymore. And then I was tired of the NBA. I came home to Virginia, and I met a streamer because I was playing more Apex, and he was like, "Man, you should just turn it on." And I was like, "No, that's not really for me." And he was like, "Man, it's literally you playing the game 8 hours a day anyway, man. Just turn it on. It's on your PS4 already. You don't have to do anything or make an account." So I did it. My name at the time was Ghost VA 757, and I turned it on that day, and I just never turned it off.
Yeah.
Honestly, really, it just kind of just happened. You know,
Yeah.
it wasn't something that I had planned. I knew nothing about streaming. I didn't know anybody in streaming. I just kind of just stumbled across it. Fate stumbled across it more than
Yeah.
I did because too many things, like those three stories I just told you, happened in like a week span. So it was like, man, I meet this kid, he tells me about it, and then I go to the game, and then Ninja's there. Then I see Ninja in the paper, and I'm like, wow. Then I think I found Shroud after that. I found Ninjala, and I found like two other streamers because a friend of mine knows Ninjala
Yeah.
from school because they both grew up like around the same area. So it was kind of just signs just happening, man, and me just, I guess, walking towards the signs, really.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people don't understand like if you don't know what you're doing for streaming, like you're playing the game anyway. Why
Hmm.
not just throw it on? What's the worst that could happen? You get no viewers. You're not playing for like you're playing by yourself anyway half the time. So what's the point? You know what I
That's,
mean?
well, I mean, but that's kind of the glory in streaming, though. Like you literally, you have no idea
Yeah.
what can happen or what will happen or what won't happen. You just
Yeah.
get up here and just entertain or enjoy yourself doing what you already are doing. So
Yep.
that's how I seen it one day, and I thought it was fun interacting with people, so I kept doing it.
Yep. Yeah, I mean you're great at it, man. You're one of the
Thank
people
you.
I look up to whenever I'm down and out and I want to give up, man. I look to you, I look to Caution, I look to a couple other people.
I appreciate it, bro.
It's not always the big streamers that try to keep you going. It's the little ones that have always been there, you know?
Yeah, for sure, bro. For sure.
So
You
if you
can
don't
find motivation in all the places, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So if you don't mind me asking, what did you do in the NBA?
Um, so so basically, I I did PR, marketing, and management, and that was the title that we created. So basically, I had friends make it to the NBA, and I had friends get to the NBA and really want to just stop themselves from possibly worrying about going broke and managing themselves publicly with an image. So that's kind of what happened. I kind of just walked into it one day for one friend, and then it picked up from there from one friend to five or six. You know, and basically, man, I really tried my best to make sure that people didn't go broke. Because it happens very fast. There's a lot of things that we don't know as people who don't have millions of dollars that happens. Like okay, like you could get a call from your financial advisor one day, and you have to either spend $30,000 or the
What up,
government's going
Ray?
to take it anywhere. you know. So it's kind of but those are tax things that we don't know and how to really deal with,
Yeah.
or like stopping people from, guy may have like a shoe fetish, like and like helping him like manage, like man, like or finding connections for him to get some of these shoes and bargain his his status for that said shoe. You know, I did a
Yeah.
bunch of things, man.
That's awesome, man. I honestly didn't know that, so it's cool to hear about all that.
I
Yeah.
talk about it in spurts. I don't really talk about it too much,
Yeah.
um, because it's kind of one of those things where it's like, well, one, I haven't had many people think I was lying because I normally have facts to go with them,
Yeah.
but it's kind of like one of those like like unreal things, like where you did what, like how did you get there? And it's
Yeah.
like, well, I just just
I just
being
did my thing.
myself.
Yeah, I just did my thing.
I mean, yeah, I mean, cause like like you just, I'm really big on meeting people, bro. And like being myself, and like, you never know who you're talking to. You know what I mean? Like you could be the son of Elon Musk, all I know. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't know that, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't treat you no differently whether you were or you weren't.
Yeah.
You know, so it kind of just one of them things, man.
Yeah. Treat people with respect. Respect. Treat people how you want to be treated. Essentially, that's how
That's
I look
all
at
else.
everything.
That's all it is, bro.
Ray, I love this guy. He's my homie. Man's went from PS4 only stream to what he is now. Very inspirational. I agree, Ray. I agree. He's very inspirational.
I'm
Um.
all right.
so everybody has bad days or rough days, but what gets you motivated to want to keep going, like on, especially for like streaming? Because I know not a lot of people understand the mental that it takes to do streaming sometimes.
Takes a lot, man. If I was to be very blunt and honest, man, I would just tell you the fact that that like I know I'm going to succeed. And it's kind of a play on yourself, you know. Like I don't know that I am going to succeed. You know what I'm saying? Like I this cannot work,
Yeah,
you know. But in my mind, I've given myself such confidence and such vision for it that but like I dream it, you know.
yeah,
I like when I'm daydreaming or talking about stuff. Like you should be surprised by I look crazy sometimes because I talk to myself, you know, and like not like always verbally, but like dream wise,
yeah,
you know, like I dream up instances of things happening, of me getting this deal, or me signing this, or me getting this amount of viewers, or you know, or this, or me doing this on YouTube and etc. Like I surround myself with the idea of succeeding so much that I fully believe it.
yeah,
Um, so it's like, but it's hard though, you know, because there are always going to be things and obstacles thrown towards you that make you feel like those things won't happen, you know. And I have my days, you know, but I also feed off of motivation from a lot of places, whether if it's music that I listen to, you know, rather if it's people that I talk to, rather if it's getting small and amazing compliments from somebody like yourself, you know, um, or really like I'm big into success stories. You know, I've been fortunate to be on both sides of the spectrum, right?
yeah,
And people don't normally get to be on both sides. You know, I've been on the highly amazing side of being amazingly wealthy, and I've been on the side of, you know, like struggling and trying to figure it out. But I know the line between the two and how much it really takes to live or etc. Or just knowing that it's not always green on the side that you think it is.
mm-hmm.
Um, but the most important part, bro, is finding like ways to keep yourself motivated. You know, like I listen to a lot of success stories. You know, like I go watch older videos when you know Kai Cenat was videoing to himself talking about you know what he was going to do in the future,
Yeah,
or you know I go look at an old Nick Merckx video, him talking about you know, or a tweet that he posted of when he was averaging 100 viewers and he was excited, you know, and really understanding the time, bro. I think that the biggest thing that is a confusion between a lot of people is not understanding the time it takes to become successful in anything, let alone streaming. There are millions and probably almost billions of streamers,
yeah,
you know, um, that have been doing this way longer than myself or not as long, but it's always a lot of people, you know. So it's like just understanding, man, that it is a process. And in that process you will have ups and downs. And in that process you will have glory moments and not so glory moments. But I think that if you're doing one thing a day to improve in that, you know, and walk yourself forward, it helps a lot. I try to do one thing a day that I feel like it's helping me go towards my goal. Hi, Eden.
good, good. Yeah, I agree. Everybody, like, I don't think everybody that's on the outside world of streaming doesn't understand like how much actually goes into what everybody does every day. Like it's not you just turn on
Yeah.
the camera and you just play a game. Like you have to entertain people. You have to either whether be good at the game or you be bad at the game. You still have to find some sort of entertainment to keep them coming
Yeah.
back or staying in the chat. And then you
I
also
think that my bad, I'm sorry.
no, you're good. And then you also have to think of not just streaming, but like how you're gonna get content out there to bring more people in, and like there's so much that goes around just streaming that people don't understand, and it does take a hit on a lot of people.
Yeah. I think that some people who even stream don't understand what it takes to be a streamer, you know?
Yeah,
Because like one of the biggest lessons that I think I've learned in the last past maybe like year and a half is understanding that streaming wasn't going to be the only thing to help me succeed. That I was going to have to do things outside of streaming to help this grow. Whether that was be on another platform, creating content, uploading content, meeting other streamers, talking to other people in the community, like getting to know people. You know, it takes a lot, man. Especially when you don't have like, it's one thing to not have the people and one thing not to be able to pay the people. So like a lot of streamers like myself, you are your promoter, you are your editor, you are your manager, you are
Yep.
the streamer, you know. And you have to find allocated time to make all of that happen. And some people do that without having a financial backing other than what they do and make on their stream.
Yeah.
So it can become very overwhelming. Um, like very, very, very overwhelming when you think about all of that at one time and try to get everything done in one day. And it's a lot.
Yeah.
Streaming can be a lot for sure.
And I like to use the phrase a lot. Don't do everything at once. Take it in small doses. Like
One
no matter
thousand percent.
no matter what it is, it could be fitness. It could be even just cleaning the house. Start in
Yeah,
one room, clean that. Streaming.
yeah,
Start with streaming. After streaming, take a break. You don't have to go right into editing. You don't have to go right into whatever. Just take a break for a
yeah.
second.
It's important.
Gather
It's
yourself.
important, bro.
Get some food. Get some water. Then sit down. Do all that stuff.
Well, well, you know what? I think a lot of that has to do with allotting proper time for yourself. Like time management is mad important
Yeah.
in streaming, and I think probably the most underrated thing.
Yep. 100%.
Like if you don't have time management for yourself, this is going to become extremely hard.
Yeah.
But honestly, you can't really fault too many people because COVID kind of like put a lot of bad habits on us.
Yeah.
You know, because like at COVID, bro, everybody was streaming 10, 14 hours. I don't think I've seen anybody uploading anything
Yeah.
back then. It was just straight streaming, and it helped a lot of people.
Hmm.
But I think when it was starting to like, I guess not fully go away because COVID is still out there, but it's like simmered down a bit. A lot of people didn't understand that they needed to adapt to that.
Yeah.
That you got to go back to understand that summertime, people travel between June and July. People go outside, all this stuff, man. It's like any other business. It's going to have downtimes, you know? So, like, what are you doing during those downtimes to make that not too much of a downtime or not keep your focus on the downtime?
Yeah.
I try not to
Absolutely.
keep myself focused on the things that make me sad and upset and stuff like that.
Yeah. Networking is a big thing too that a lot of people don't understand. They think like you don't have to network, which some people don't. Some people just have the ability to entertain and do all that stuff. But I feel like even just a little bit of networking can go a long way.
Yeah, for sure, man. I think that networking does a lot. I think that networking with I think networking with uh like-minded people goes a long way.
Yeah. Oh,
I think
absolutely.
there's a difference, Like I don't think you go out here and just network with somebody you don't really
Yeah.
feel like no energy between. That is not going to bring you any type of value. But I think that if you properly go, and I think people get networking confused as like, let me go out here try to find somebody who's doing better than me. Let me hang with them so that it can work out for me. I think networking is just finding something that you like and going to support that person. If
Yeah.
that support comes back, cool. If it don't, whatever. You
Yeah.
still made a good introduction on yourself. You never know when that's going to come back around. I've met people. I met people a year ago, and they've come around a year after that. They're like, "Oh wow, I remember you.
Yeah.
I didn't even know you streamed. What's up?" You know. So I think building relationships is one of the many key factors in succeeding in this space for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, because I'm doing this whole respawn recruits thing, and I think the biggest, and I said it, this is my second year doing it because I didn't do it the last 2 years just because a bunch of stuff going on. But this is my
Yeah.
second year doing it, and I feel, and I tell everybody the same thing. I'm like, I could win this, cool, whatever. But like, I'm more in this to network and to get to know more people like me. More people that are into the same things I am. I'd
Mhm.
rather if I win, cool. If I don't, I still win because I met new friends. I made more friends. Like you know what I mean. Like I met new people that I can game with. I met new people that I can network with and things like that.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that have that same mindset in there. They're like, yeah, if I win, cool. But I met so many cool, amazing people along the way. Like we literally have two different group chats going right now from people that have been talking to each other and people that are just part of the respawn team, which is I think is pretty dope.
Right. Nah, it is though, man.
What would you say is the hardest thing about streaming for you, or in your eyes?
For me personally,
Well, yeah. What you could do you personally, and then what you think the hardest thing is in general.
I think the hardest thing in general is balance. I think the hardest thing for the reason I say balance is because it kind of goes back to the time thing. Um, you know, like, and granted, I seen this broken down in like a TikTok video the other day, right? It's like, technically, like they tell us that you're supposed to sleep 9 hours. Um, if you sleep 9 hours, you know how many hours you have left
Yeah,
after that. If you go to work or even stream 6 of those hours, you know how much time you have left. Look how much time you're leaving yourself to get other things done. You know, so it's like I feel like having a balance of knowing streaming, personal life, edit, and anything else, and whatever you are into is madly important, man. And I think for myself, it would probably be to not be as hard on myself as I am. Um, I am lucky and blessed to have been successful in other businesses, so I'm really hard on myself when I don't know. I tend to take the small things for granted at times, and like not feel as successful as I am. You know,
yeah,
um, because I want to be more successful, and I see the grind and the work and the things that I'm doing to make myself a better person and a better content creator. And yeah, it's probably the biggest thing, man. I just be down on myself more than anybody.
yeah,
Um, and I need to just learn to relax and be fully thankful for what I have going on, which I am. It's not like I'm ungrateful, but I'm just one of those guys, man, where I lock in, bro. Like
yeah,
I don't I eat, sleep, stream, go work out, hang with my family once a week, and then
yeah.
come back here and do it all over again. So I don't know. It's learning to relax a little bit more.
I feel that. Yeah,
Uh,
I say it all the time. You're your own biggest critic. Like you're not.
yeah,
There's nobody else gonna put more hard work on you than you. So
yeah.
I feel that. I feel like you're not the only one when it comes to that as your
I think it's a difference between I think the difference between being hard on yourself and being overly consumed with yourself.
yeah,
You know, sometimes I'm a little bit overly consumed. Like, dog, you're so just you're not even enjoying, or like not. I don't want to say it like that. 'Cause I'm not enjoying it, but like you're not like mentally aware of that it'll never be this small again.
yeah,
You know, so like enjoying it and taking that in because when it does get larger, it's gonna be a totally different task. And it won't be as calm and as cool and as chill as this is,
yeah,
you know? So yeah, man, just really just taking in more of the strides that come with the journey. I think that this is more sometimes more exciting than getting to the finish line.
yeah.
Really.
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
100% agree. I feel like, especially along the way, because I'll be my 5 year will actually be next Sunday that I started streaming.
Nice.
So like just all the crazy, amazing people I've met. Let's see, I got you, Caution, Chris, who I met from Sweet Anita, who rated me 2 years ago, which was
Yeah.
crazy. I had no idea how to even react to that. I literally
Right.
turned my stream on 5 minutes later. I had 2,000 people in my chat. I was like, what the hell is going on?
Right.
But like just the people that have always been there or will be there. Like I feel like is better than what comes at the end.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure, bro.
Um, what advice would you give to up and coming streamers since we've been doing it for a little while now?
Hmm. Okay. Um, it's like a list, but one of the main things,
We got
man, would
time.
be one of the main things would be to be as original as possible without forcing it. It kind of goes back to how many people we're talking about try to, or either attempt this, in every game. Like think about how many games it is, and
Yeah,
think about how many streamers it is for that game alone. And I think it's very important to just find a unique way to like give off who you are. You know,
yeah,
I think the better you do that, the more you'll find people who are like yourself, and you can build all on from that. I think the consistency is important based off of how much time you can allow to it. Um, Uploading, man, it's probably the biggest thing. Like uploading. I feel like if I was uploading and putting content out on YouTube and etc. And when I first started streaming, that this 4 years would feel a little bit different.
Yeah.
You know, um, I think it is important to not overhaul yourself with just being up here and being live. Um, and not to mention, I think the final and most important thing is knowing that a lot of streaming is just luck, man. It's literally the luck of the draw. Like it's luck of somebody seeing you one day and being like, oh, "Let me check this guy out," or somebody, suggesting you from somebody else.
Yeah.
Like I feel like you, we have to keep in mind that there's luck involved
Oh,
in
100%.
this
100%.
and everything. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And honestly, man, to just really enjoy the ride, man, and practice. Because everybody thinks that they're ready for the 30, 50, 100, 200, and etc. viewers. But if you don't have any practice in speaking and or speaking and keeping people entertained,
Yeah.
then that can happen, man. Like I've seen raids of people come in, and it's happened to me because every community won't be for you, right?
Yeah.
But I've had people like raid me for like 300, and maybe like 50 of the people stay. Or I've had stuff happen where a 500 raid happened and everybody stayed.
Yeah.
But I think all of that came from me practicing and building like not really a script, but like like a dialect to go off of. Like I have a dialect that I built that's solely around what I do. I think that you go find a handful of streamers that you like, and like you really like their content, and you go look at what works for them and what you like from them. And I think that you take pieces from that and try to create that into your own. I
Yeah.
don't think that you steal from anybody, but I think that you are more than welcome to be inspired by somebody and take an attribute from that and like make it your own.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I think that's what another thing I like about this respawn thing too is like you could just bounce ideas off so many different people.
Yeah,
Just bring in different ideas or just even if you're gaming together, you can come up with different content like four corner challenge like Tim and them did or no
yeah,
guns like just random stuff like that. But you can make it your own. You don't because you're gonna have different personalities than what everybody else is. So
1,000%.
I 100% agree with that whole, you don't have to steal it, but make it your own type thing. Like I definitely feel like, especially on Twitch, because discoverability sucks. I feel like
Yeah,
you have to find a way to stick out more than everybody else.
it's like that everywhere. It's on every platform,
Yeah,
man.
but I think it's
You
harder on
know?
Twitch just because everybody sees Twitch as like the main. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Um, for somebody who's been doing Twitch and Kick at separate times, uh, I think it's still the same. I mean, yeah, I get it. I get
Yeah.
it. I get it. There's a lot of people over here, but I think it's places grow, like Kick grow.
Oh
Kick
yeah,
have
yeah,
the same thing,
yeah,
Same thing goes with YouTube and anything else. Um, but I do feel like the more work you put in on your see, because like I said, it's different, man. When COVID happened, everybody was online, so
yeah,
they were looking for streamers, trying to find people to watch. I feel like we go back to what it was, and we look at posting on YouTube and TikTok and Twitter
yeah,
and Instagram and Reddit as ways to bring people to your channel and give you ways to grow.
yeah, absolutely. And then I think my biggest thing for I guess new and up and coming streamers is don't want to really stream mainstream games. Like I know you probably have them all, but if you're streaming a mainstream game, odds are you're gonna be bottom. Like even if it's an old game like 2 3 years old, I would start with that so that way you have more discoverability, more people can check you out. I feel like that's a
Yeah,
big thing too.
I mean, I think that I think that the games can, well, the games obviously do affect
Yeah,
what happens, but I think that I don't know, man. I think that a look changes a lot of that as well.
yeah,
Because like people are not only seeing the game you're playing, they're seeing your setup. And granted, your setup doesn't have to always be a lot,
yeah,
but even something that's very simple as I play Valorant. I Toast Tech designed like a little HUD for Valorant
yeah,
for the abilities. It's not many people. I I want to say it's not anybody, honestly, but I could be wrong. I don't feel like there's anybody who has a HUD or had a HUD before I did
yeah.
on in Valorant. And I could be wrong. Like I said, I don't know everybody in Valorant, but I've
Yeah,
never seen it before. And like you'd be surprised how many people that bring in. They'd be like, "Yo, bro, that's a cool looking thing you have
yeah,
there for the abilities on your screen. That's dope." You know.
yeah, yeah. I'm not saying they don't have
Um,
like I'm not saying don't stream them, but if I had to choose like
your mic
something,
is like fuzzing out to a bit. Oh,
are we good?
you good? Yeah, we're chilling. We're chilling.
Okay,
We're chilling.
okay. I need to get a new cord.
No, you're chilling.
But I'm not saying like don't play it. But if I had to choose for like just so you can start, so you don't feel as much pressure, I guess, to have
Oh,
to go
for
out. You know
sure.
what I mean? Like
I get that.
I would start with a game that you're used to that's not mainstream. Like when I
No, for
started,
sure. I
I
get
was
that.
doing Quantum. I think I was playing Quantum Break. Like who the heck? Nobody was playing Quantum Break at that time when I was playing
Yeah,
Quantum Break. So I would
yeah.
have like 5 or 6 people, and they're just watching, chilling, telling me about the game and stuff. Because I thought it was cool that it was a game, but there was also like a show inside the game, which I thought was dope.
That's a good perspective and a good way to look at it. I never thought about it like that.
You
It
know what I
actually
mean?
makes sense. I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I mean, and even now with Kick, like everyone's starting to venture over or test the water. So now you're getting to, like you said, it's starting to get grow and be like Twitch. But I still feel like even if you do come over, don't try to play the mainstream games. Just stick with you. Like people are still playing Dead by Daylight, things like that. Like they're still finding games to play. Even
Yeah.
indie games. Like I feel like nobody. I feel like there's a lot of hidden indie streamers that nobody watches
Right.
that can should blow up because indie games are dope.
The indie games are dope.
Indie games
That's right.
are dope. Um, let's see what else. What else? Are you looking forward to any games coming out?
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. So as I'm doing more variety, I am looking forward. There's a Texas Chainsaw Massacre game coming out in like maybe a couple of days actually.
Yeah, I think it's a couple days.
Um, I'm looking forward to Starfield. Um, I'm looking forward to the Spider-Man and Miles Morales game whenever that comes out for PC because I don't have a PS5. Um, those are the ones that are on top of my head right now. I know for a fact that Elden Ring talked about doing a DLC. It was going to be like an expansion of the game. I would love to get back into that.
Yeah.
Those are pretty much the four that I'm looking forward to. Yeah.
So I heard someone, my one friend texted me and asked if I was getting Starfield, but I didn't see anything on it because I was at work. I heard
Yeah.
it's kind of like a Destiny type game. I guess.
From my understanding, yeah, I just heard it's supposed to be like a like an open world space based game. So, but it looks amazing. Like a friend of mine was telling me about this game, and I want to say maybe like if not a year, maybe 2 years ago, and um and it's finally just coming out. And I'm like, wait, this is the same as that game, and it looks like even better than what it was. And it seems like they're putting a lot of good work into it. So I'm honestly, man, I'm into the content thing at this point. So
Yeah.
like I'm trying whatever's dropping and putting some content out behind it and seeing how it goes. Like I played DBD for the first time like 2 weeks ago, and I put
Yeah.
out a VOD of that. I just played Hunt Showdown the Saturday just passed. About to put a video off of that. You know, just putting out content, man. Um, and just getting not only getting myself used to it, but getting companies used to seeing, hey, this guy is doing variety. This guy is doing not just FPS games. You know,
Yeah.
maybe we can work something out. We do something with this guy. So,
Yeah. I saw you playing Diablo 2. Saw you playing Diablo 4.
yes, yes, yes.
Grinding that.
I didn't make any content for Diablo because I honestly didn't know how to.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
and now that I understand what people do for Diablo, I could probably do it like now. But when I first started playing it, I needed to know the game first. I didn't want to just put something out and
Yeah.
just like what I'm gonna put it out of. You know, I probably could have did the story, but I was so busy enjoying the story that I
Yeah.
didn't even care about putting nothing out. So
Yeah, my problem when I play Diablo games is I get so distracted by all the side stuff that it took me like so long to beat the story. It was like 2 days
yeah,
before the new season started. I was like, God damn it! Now I just gotta play the main story first, and then I'll go back and I'll
right.
do all the side stuff because I just get distracted.
I feel it, bro. It's easy to happen.
It's crazy. Do you have any questions you'd like to ask me, or does your chat or anybody have any questions you'd like to ask us, guys?
Hmm. Let's see. Anybody got any questions? Anybody? Huh. Okay, well, let's go back and reverse some questions to yourself. Um, what do you do to stay motivated?
Um, for me, for I guess we'll go streaming for now. For streaming, I guess it's just since the move to Kick, I feel like I'm not as pressured into wanting to see people come in the stream. Like I feel more relaxed. I feel like I want to
Okay.
hit the go live button every day. And then I think starting this whole Monday thing has been even more refreshing because I get to talk to people every Monday, new people. You know what I mean? Like people going through things. Last week I got to talk to Big Sin, the org owner for Limitless, and he's on a weight loss journey, so I got to talk to him about that and what it's like to run an org. So like just getting to and then like reaching out to people to see if they want to come on, I feel like has been a great thing too, because like I'm not doing it next week, but the following week I have someone that actually won Respawn Recruits coming on to talk, so I feel like that's going to be
Yeah.
cool to see what they struggled with or how they can talk to the Respawn Recruits and see what they're going to go through. Like
Okay.
there's a bunch of different things for at least streaming that I feel like has gotten me more motivated. um but working out wise, I would say just looking at my past self and not wanting to go back.
Okay.
You
So
know what I
more
mean?
so basically like fresh starts.
Yep.
Okay. Is that what so what got you into interviewing was the question?
Um, like I said, I think from just going through stuff myself and knowing that people always go through stuff that nobody can see. Just like
Yeah.
I say it every day, everybody's going through something and not everybody sees it. That's why I try to respect people, or I try to be nice to everybody, because you don't know what they're going through. Like a simple "Hey, you know, how you doing?" can go a long way to someone who's
Yeah.
having a really bad day and just wants to say something. You know, so I feel like just having you guys come on and just having people listen to what you guys have to say can brighten their day, or just just get them the motivation they need to keep going, or get up and take a shower, or get up and go to the gym, or hit that go live button. Like I feel like just
Yeah.
motivating other people is what gets me motivated essentially.
You know what? I will say this. I had a close friend ask me this when I was going through like a funk, maybe like a couple weeks ago. And he was asking me, he's like, "Man, do you feel like you took the leap for doing this full time too quickly?" And I can say no because I had some back I was backing myself when I first did this. So I was fine, you know.
Yeah.
But I said it to say that I think that it's very important for people to really take their time easing into wanting to be a full time content creator or streamer or whatever you're doing. Um and if you have prior business experience, find some, because it's just things you need to be aware of. Like I said, when it comes to, slow times, when it comes to holiday months, um, anything, man, tax season,
Yeah.
uh, family time, like knowing that people spend time with their family a lot around June, July, November and December,
Yeah.
knowing that, yeah, just being mindful of how much it takes to be able to survive uh as a full-time streaming and content creator. I think it's very, very
Oh yeah, absolutely. Chris wants to know what your best workout song is.
important. It's a good one. I don't know, it's always something loud and obnoxious. Honestly, it's probably what's the name of that group? It's slipping my mind. They did the remix to Michael Jackson's "Annie, Are You Okay?" What is it?
Alien
called?
Ant Farm.
Alien Ant Farm. That's up there.
Smooth Criminal.
Yeah, Smooth Criminal. Yeah, yeah. Alien Ant Farm.
That's a good one. I like that one.
I like stuff that like just gives me just energy. That makes me
Yeah.
just live. Like that's probably up there. Yeah, no, that's definitely up
Yeah,
there.
that's the one. That's the one right there.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I
um,
play everything loud.
yeah, me too. Especially when you're going for a new record and stuff. I literally just turn my headphones up so nobody can talk to me, and I'm just like, just give me space. Just give me a second.
Right.
Let me focus. Mine would have to be um. They just dropped a new album. They're called From Ashes to New. They're kind of have like a Linkin Park vibe.
Okay.
Um, the Monster in Me, it just like it has a rock background, but it's just rap over the rock, so it's
Yeah,
so
yeah,
good. Like it just hits me. Like I literally just and I'm just like,
yeah. You'd be surprised, man. I play a lot of new jeans too sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I like the new jeans.
Nice, nice.
All right, my last question for you:
All right.
are the Eagles winning the championship?
Oh fuck yeah. That's not not even a question. Not even a question. No, I think it's going to be a good season. I do think they win their division, but I don't like to be too cocky. Obviously, as an Eagles fan, I know they
Yeah,
can choke. So I do think they're going to win the division.
yeah.
We'll see.
As a inherited Commodores fan, I have to be like, okay, I guess I don't know.
Yes.
We
And then
haven't been good in a very long time. So.
I mean, I got. As long as you're not a Cowboys fan, I'm alright with that. I'm cool with that. Like my
I'm
dad,
not.
my
I
dad's a
would never.
Giants fan, so we're good.
I would never be a Cowboys fan. I could never do
I
that to
don't.
myself.
I wouldn't want to do that to anybody. um. So another thing that kind of got me into interviewing, like I like, is I'm a supervisor at a warehouse. So like when I have to do, like when people come up to me, they ask me to help them, and what I do is, especially if they want to be a lead, which is right under a supervisor, we do things called mock interviews. So we'll
Okay.
pull them in a room. It'll be me and another supervisor, me and this one other supervisor, and we'll just read questions, and we'll read them the question. They'll give us an answer. They'll try to answer it. If they don't have an answer, we'll just be like, "Well, give us something that we can use to form a sentence for you, so you can kind of
Yeah.
see how our minds are working and things like that." So we'd ask someone the question, what's your biggest weakness? And then everybody always, at least 95% of the time, they go, one of my biggest weaknesses is, and we're like, we're going to stop you right there. And they're like, why? I'm like, because you just said you have more than one weakness.
Yeah. Yeah.
Companies don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's definitely a perspective thing. All
Yeah.
right. So with that being said, what would you feel like is your biggest weakness when it comes to streaming?
I think my biggest weakness is, like you said, being hard on yourself, but I also think that there's times that I'm not entertaining enough. Like I just don't feel
Okay.
like I'm doing enough to keep people wanting to come back, or keeping people in the stream. So I
Okay.
feel like that's my biggest thing that I have to improve on.
Okay. It's a real one, man.
Yeah.
It's a real one. I think if I had to think of one outside of what I said before, um, biggest I'm not thinking what weakness that I feel like I have, man. I'm very, very self observant, but I'm trying to think of one that's really like something that gets to me that I know I shouldn't do.
Yeah.
Um, honestly, man, sometimes I think my biggest weakness is the feeling that I don't fit in directly. And the reason I feel like I don't really fit in is that I'm not what a lot of people I guess would consider a traditional gamer, even though a gamer doesn't look like anything.
Yeah.
Um, I just I don't know. Sometimes I feel like people see me and it's like, you know, he should be playing 2K or something like that. You know? Like for cause like I'm very like, I'm chill, bro, but
Yeah.
I'm very I can be aggressive sometimes, I can be angry, blah blah. But it's like sometimes it comes off and it like I don't know. I feel like I get prejudged a bit. So I feel like I'm forced to solo content a lot more than what I would like. Which is okay. Like ain't
Yeah.
nobody gonna stop me from getting where I want to get to, But I would love to be collabing with a lot more streamers and stuff and doing other things. But
Yeah.
I truly just sometimes like I think I agree that I don't fit in like that, you know.
Yeah. I feel
Um,
that.
I think that I gotta just be okay with that.
I feel
Like
that.
I'm not trying to change myself to fit
Yeah.
in either, But it's like it sucks when I look back and sometimes I just be like, man, damn, it feel like I'm sticking out like a sore thumb a bit,
Yeah.
you know. So yeah, that's probably my that, and then just knowing that everybody not gonna be like you, man. Like my background and the things that I grew up on aren't always aligned with a lot of different people either, you know. Like, and I noticed that like there's a lot of things that I don't get into. Like you don't see me in drama, you don't see me
Yeah.
telling every girl in the chat, "Hey, sexy," and little
Yeah.
stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like
I'm
I
looking for
don't
an
fit in.
e-girl. What up?
Yeah, like I just don't fit into that. And granted, if that's you, that's cool. You know what I mean? I just don't fit into that demographic of that. So
Yeah, I
I
feel
think it's
that.
just being okay with it for real. Being more okay with it.
Yeah, I think that's one thing I can commend Caution on is like he doesn't care. Like
Yeah,
he loves playing solo. He doesn't try to do anything out of the ordinary. He's been literally grinding by himself forever. And that's one thing
yeah,
I can commend him on is he doesn't switch up for anybody.
yeah. I mean, being yourself, man. You know, is just. I think that being yourself is more valuable than anything else. You know,
Absolutely.
because you can be a carbon copy of. It's a couple things that I could have done to got further in streaming.
Yeah.
You know, I know
Agreed.
for a fact would have worked. You know,
Agreed.
but I think that the journey that I have decided to take will be a lot more profitable, and I won't get tired of it.
Yeah.
Because there's one thing about making a persona and then not wanting to do that persona anymore, but the personas was got you there.
Yep.
So now you're stuck doing the persona,
Yep.
and I never wanted that. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna make it. Y'all gonna have to just like me, and then we just go from there. You know.
Yep. Exactly. You shouldn't change who you are to fit in, but it's not a bad thing to push yourself into new and other situations in order to better yourself. Oh, absolutely. I
One
100%
thousand
agree with
percent.
that, Chris. Okay. Do you have any closing statements or anything else you'd like to say before we finish up here?
Um, follow me on Twitch. Follow me on Kick, YouTube, TikTok,
Follow him
Twitter,
everywhere.
everywhere. They all
Go
it's all the
Station
same
TV.
name.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Outside of that, man, that's pretty much it, bro. No, we're not really. That's not it. I'm proud of you, man.
Thank you,
Honestly,
sir. Thank you.
yeah, bro.
I
Yeah,
appreciate you coming on.
it takes a lot to start over, and it takes a lot to start over, do something new as well. You know, and that can be some of the most discouraging times. But I want you to probably hold on to something I said by myself earlier, man, and just understanding that kind of enjoy this moment because this is the smallest that it'll ever be, bro.
Yep.
You know, you never know what can happen tomorrow or the next time you do another one of these or what happens when you post this video on YouTube, any of that. You know,
Yep.
then the thing
Exactly.
that you're going, you may mess around and stumble across the president of the Eagles on YouTube looking and seeing you doing this, or what's the name just bought back Barstool,
Yeah.
you know, you never know what
Absolutely.
can happen, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, be proud of yourself for doing something, bro, that this is not as common as everything else, you know? And I
Yep.
hope it continues to grow.
Me too, man. I appreciate you for coming on. Appreciate you as always, man. We got to get some games in soon.
Definitely, man. You let me know.
I
I'm
need you to
around.
I need you to carry me in this new Apex ring system because it's
Oh,
ass,
bro,
bro.
listen, I'm terrible at that game now, bro. I'm terrible at that game now, bro.
Oh,
I,
dude,
I,
it's
I can barely play that game for longer than 2 or 3 hours now,
yo,
bro.
me and Boomer literally did our rank matches yesterday just to get placement. I was like, I'm getting off.
Yeah, bro. It's tiring,
Like,
man.
I'm over it.
And Broken Moon don't make it no better.
Oh, absolutely not. Yeah, I ain't even touching Apex today. That ain't happening. Chris said, "Thank you for sharing your perspective. It's refreshing hearing from someone that has a confident swagger about them, but not in a cocky way. You know you're worth it. It's great to see."
Thank you, Chris. I thank you, man. I think that is valuable, man, and very, very important, bro. You don't gotta be a dickhead. Excuse my language.
Oh, you good?
You know, like you don't gotta be a asshole or none of that stuff that people make you make you feel like you gotta do to succeed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Granted, you know when you gotta turn it up and when you don't.
Hmm.
But I think that honestly, bro, being a nice person to people out here is the best way and the most certain way to meet more people.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
yeah, it's one thing to be confident, it's another thing to be overly confident.
Yep.
So
I agree.
yep.
I agree. Yeah, that'll do it for Motivational Monday. Like he said, go follow him. It's Go Station TV at everything, YouTube, Twitter, all of it. Follow him. He's amazing. He's goaded. Amazing at Valorant. Got a bomb ass HUD. Go check it out. Also, greatest what is it? Greatest stream deck on Twitch. Check it out.
I yeah. Sometimes I'm slipping a little bit, but sometimes
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you coming on. Thank you.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you, bro.
Yep.